Can't drink it, it's over there. Right, Vinny. So, Mania or Manias? Explain this to me.
Okay, so I would have to say it's been Manias.
Manias, there's more than one, obviously.
So yeah, obviously, yeah.
Right, so explain to me what's happened. In fact, what's your earliest memory, I suppose, when or it doesn't really matter, I suppose. Yeah. But what's your earliest memory of when you were kind of being?
So I would say
First of all, explain what Mania is.
So for me, a mania is when it's like euphoria. It's just like
right.
Really feel you really really happy, but it's not true happiness. It's not true.
Is this the superiority thing?
That's when you get into those levels. You get into these levels of overconfident, making many plans, starting many jobs. Just thinking you're the bee's knees, and
okay.
It's good because I believe I was probably on manias when I was fighting.
Okay.
Because I would walk through people, and I broke someone. I'm not bigging myself up, but
no.
Kick the hard as you can, and shattered someone's leg.
Right. Okay.
Training broke someone's arm, unfortunately. But yeah, like when you're like in the mania, you haven't got the cut off.
So when you're in the mania, for example, when you've done that, you said you shattered somebody's
leg,
or you broke the bones, right? For example.
It's like a little bit of a.
So did you feel it was like?
I didn't know. Okay. I know. He had about.
Was it just right over the top of your head?
I didn't know. No, I didn't know because he had about two. He had 2-3 standing counts in the fight, and it's only to the next year I went back to the same, show.
Right. Okay.
He said, "Vinny, you broke my leg." I'm like, "What?" And he said, "Oh, I was walking around I was working."
So this is him telling you?
Yeah, he said, "I'm working on it and that," and they got X-rayed it, and they said, "Yo, you need to go and sit in that wheelchair." And so you're like, "F you, I've been fucking working on it for like the last 4 weeks."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a little breakthrough. Like I don't know. So I mean, some rugby players will break their back and they still continue to work.
Wow,
so,
man,
it's a bit crazy like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so manias like.
So manias, yeah.
Yeah, so manias, and then my birthday, I was like, I done flyers. For my 30th birthday, I done flyers.
Flyers
and invited random people.
Oh, that's so. When I was doing the research for this interview, right?
Yeah.
This came up, right, and we spoke about it, but it was only in kind of voice note form.
Oh, okay.
and you told me what you'd done, right? And I'm like, what? So in my head, it's like you organise your own party, right?
Yeah.
But this was like over extreme.
Wow. Too extreme.
You had got banners. Did you get banners? No, there was banners.
I got flyers.
You got an airplane. You get a fucking airplane had this fucking banner on the back of its arse.
Mate, I probably would have done it.
You would have done that.
I probably would have done it if I could afford it.
Yeah.
You know, it was all about me.
Well, we're going to talk about you spending lots of money. How much did you spend?
Well,
it was kind of one sitting, but it wasn't one sitting. But it was like
it was.
Was it 25k, 26k?
Oh, okay. So let's go. Just jump to the last mania then.
Okay.
So
the last mania, right?
The last mania.
It's like you're selling this as a box set. It's like
Mania 3.
It's sort of Northampton. It's like Northampton's Expendables, right? This is your Expendables, right? So. Northampton, right? It was all Northampton this happened? It was just you back in London?
Yeah, London. No, I don't think I've heard of Mania in London.
No, because that's what happens, it's just fucking Mania.
It's fucking Northampton. Northampton's calls the Manias.
Yeah.
I blame Northampton, the shoe town. So we had the birthday Mania, and I had the Vegas Mania. So
these are different manias, right? So explain to me you said you were going to explain the last mania. So explain that, and then we'll maybe go back.
Thanks for keeping me on track.
Yeah, no, I'm tracking myself on track here. I'm getting mania here, right? So let's look at your last mania, and then we'll kind of go back and forth and see that.
So
there's no point in doing whatever.
So my last Mania started at probably December last year and finished March, June, March, July. I think it's about 6 to 8 months Mania. And I spoke to a clinical nurse, and I didn't think I was in the Mania for that long, because the normal Manias normally last about 3-4 months, and then you come down like a rocket, bang. Like if you're up there, Paul, there's only one way you're gonna go.
Yeah. There is only one way.
Yeah. So I just bought everything I wanted.
So you bought everything you wanted.
I just bought anything I wanted.
Right. Okay.
Mate.
Was it living off credit, or did you have money?
I had money.
Right.
So I spent that money quite quickly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I had grands in the bank. I don't want to say precise money, but I had grands in the bank to cover charges, mortgages, and that. And then I had savings.
Right. Okay.
So I spent all of that.
You fucked it.
I fucked it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I spent 25k on credit cards.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Man.
So.
But people are doing that.
Yeah. People do that when they're not having.
And that's without being mania.
You know,
that's just a fucking slow build up for years of.
Yeah. So I started in December, and I went all the way through. Bought a motorbike. I bought coffee machines. I bought a pizza oven that I've never used, and I probably never use.
A pizza oven?
Cost me
you
about
could have brought that here
quid.
tonight. You could flow that over here tonight, haven't you? Right, okay, so pizza oven.
Bought a pizza oven.
How much was that, by the way?
400 quid.
All right, for this.
Yeah. I might use it one day.
Just a wee shitty one.
Yeah.
Right, for this.
And then what else have I bought? I bought like because I've done ice baths. You know, like dunk yourself in, recovery.
Well, I've got one. They've got one there, so I've got a bath there, but I've not used it yet. It's still used.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I had one, and I used it. But I actually done some ice bath training with a very good guy in Northampton. I learned the breathing, done it properly.
Yep, definitely.
Because if you jump in
no, I've done it before. You
have done it. Yeah.
So I was doing the Wim Hof stuff, but I was actually doing it from the boys from Mania Scotland, and they trained you in how the cold water therapy worked.
Yeah.
So you can't just jump into cold water. No, you have to
be like a cat. Look.
Yeah, it's like a build up of stuff. I mean, you can jump into cold water if you've been trained.
Yes,
but it's very dangerous if you don't. And so you were able to. So again, we're jumping from one bit to another. But Mania, right? But so these baths, how much were these costing you? These baths you bought?
So I bought a bath for about 120 quid. Yep, like the little flippy flappy one that you build up. So I managed to send that back.
Right. Okay.
Because there was so much of a demand for them for some reason. I think because COVID maybe and whatnot. So I sent that back because you could do it in the bath.
Yeah.
Really,
well, you can, but having a wee thing you can step in and step out of, it's a bit different because I suppose you get like there's so many different arguments in that. Yeah. But first of all, let's get back to you having the Mania, the last Mania, right? So explain how it worked.
So it was a really slow build up, and you know what? My first Mania was started by an antidepressant called citalopram. I was diagnosed bipolar. Yep. So they saw me as depressed.
Okay.
So if they knew I was bipolar, they wouldn't have gave me an antidepressant.
Yep.
So my mate said to me, giving you that antidepressant made you like Superman. Like if antidepressants done what they've done to everybody that's done to you, no one will take illicit drugs. Yeah. Because I was training in the morning, afternoon, evening.
Yeah. So let's get a picture of this, right? So you were smashing your goals, for example.
Yep.
You were training every day. You were getting up at 6 a.m, for example, going to the gym, smashing it, going to work, and then you were going back to gym after that, smashing it again. Yeah. So you were like a machine.
Yeah, like a machine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the first, and then I ended up in hospital. But we're going back to we're talking about the last Mania, which is more recent, more prominent. So it's a build up with buying everything I wanted, but I got diagnosed with pre-diabetes.
Right. Okay.
It's big in the black community, and also high blood pressure and acute kidney damage.
Right. Okay.
So look at me, like I'm not that big. I don't look like I'm
no,
ill.
Of course.
But you just don't know. They took bloods and they saw all that, and I weren't drinking enough fluids. Blood sticky, so it was a wake up call. So the company I was working for, amazing occupational health.
Right. Okay.
Like they told me what I need to do when I need to do it.
Yep.
I started to fast. My first meal was 12. My last meal was 8. I started to exercise half an hour a day. Started to walk the dog more, and then I was more worried about the diabetes because I wasn't losing none of my feet, none of my toes.
No, you didn't want. You didn't want to.
I don't know.
You didn't want to be one of those horror stories. So
No. So
you
I just put I treated it as a fight.
yeah.
I treated it as a fight. I said, no, I'm not having that.
Okay.
And so when I had bloods again, the kidney damage wasn't there anymore.
Right.
And pre-diabetes was there. My blood pressure was down.
Right.
But I felt like $1 million.
Yeah, because you're obviously you're in this zone, I suppose, and you're working out.
I've got the God complex again.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, 2 weeks or 4 weeks, I beat diabetes.
Yeah.
And I was eating food. I was eating kale. I was eating fishes. Even when I was a Thai boxer, I didn't eat good food. So they said. So my nutritionist said half the plate should be salad or veg. I was like, wow, it's a lot. Half your plate. Quarter of your plate should protein. Quarter of your plate should be carbs.
Okay.
So I started eating like that and started fasting. Body got ripped.
Right.
Again, okay. And that's it. But that was the catalyst of my last Mania.
Right.
And I was rolling. Ended up in Rotterdam.
Right. Okay.
Bought Jordans for the first time. I never bought Jordans because I thought people buying £400 pair of Jordans and they're living in a council flat or blah blah.
Right. So before we get to the Jordan story, let's take a wee break and we'll get back to that.
Okay, mate.
Because there's a dickhead just walked in.
Sound.
What a fucking quality way to finish that.